What's up, Schmoedown fans? Welcome back to Beyond the Schmoedown. I'm Star Wars competitor, sorry, Andrew Dimalanta.
And I'm Nicki Dimalanta.
You know what? I don't know what the Schmoedown is. Oh, that just fell off the desk. I don't know what the Schmoedown is, but I can see what, you know. I kind of get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The man brings up some points. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, some people might call it karma. Some people might call it luck. But I get it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And for our audio listeners, sorry. This is a terrible bit for our audio listeners because they don't see what we're doing. They just hear us eating something.
You don't need to see. You just need to know. It's just it's a state of being.
For our audio listeners, we are eating drumsticks right now. Just as what happened last week. I believe it was last week on Backstage.
Yeah, it was great. Andrew Guy and Mike Kalinowski just gave us a real show.
A real show.
They were fantastic. Mm-hmm. Andrew Guy, my God.
Yeah.
He is a treasure. I mean, they both are. Oh my God. So good.
It's such a great show.
Such a good. And God. It's gonna be the whole rest of the season. It's just like, oh well, this happened, but look at that Schmoedown.
Look at that Schmoedown.
But you know what? You never know.
You never know.
Not in 2020.
So I don't know how long we keep this going. How long we keep the show going with food in our hands.
Oh no.
Huh?
Kind of weird.
It's kind of weird. So I'm gonna do a little Thanos cut. I'm gonna snap my fingers, and these are gonna. Yeah. Ready? 3, 2, 1. All right. So now that that's gone,
Let's see if that works.
Don't give him the secrets.
I mean.
So, anyways, we have 2 matches to go over, and also, but we got a lot of other stuff that we got to talk about before we get into the matches.
Sure.
So let's go ahead and run down because there's a lot of stuff that went down.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff.
So let's see, because I came prepared this time, and I actually have like screenshots and stuff. So the first thing I have in my gallery for today is that the match between Chris Jericho and Kevin Smith was announced. So that's fun. That will be on be a Schmoedown Throwdown on August 27th at 5 p.m. PDT. And the undercard is Guy vs. Bateman 2.
Ooh.
Can I say my honest opinion here?
I'm
more excited about Bateman Guy.
I mean, but like just
like Jericho Kevin Smith is amazing branding wise.
It's a massive match, huge, especially for it to drag people that don't know what the Schmoedown is.
People that are probably they're into wrestling, or maybe they follow Kevin Smith on social media or something.
It's fantastic for the brand.
It's fantastic for the brand. But personally, I'm like, let me Guy Bateman. So there's that Schmoedown Throwdown the 27th,
and the Guy Bateman match is the number 1 contender match. So the winner of that goes on to face whoever wins that little trifecta of
Roca,
Irwin, Merle. So whoever holds the belt at that time, that's who the winner of that match will go up against. But yeah, the Kevin Smith Chris Jericho thing, like
it's real. It's massive. It
is massive. But I said it to you, it's like, are we going to see more of these guys? And I would argue, like, if we see them pass this season, it almost has to be a digital match.
Yeah.
Unless somehow you can like magically line up both of their schedules next season.
Yeah.
But,
for like a live thing?
Yeah, for like a live event.
Yeah.
That would be huge. I think that's the next step for these 2 players. But I mean, who else were you gonna pit them against? It's like
you have to put them against
each other.
I feel like it would probably have a bit more gravitas for me.
Okay, Roca.
If it were a live event, but you do what you got to do when times are like this.
It would have been huge if could have gone to like Houston at the
like
Booker T Arena,
and
get Kevin Smith and Jericho in a wrestling ring. That would have been massive. That would have been amazing.
Big.
But Christian said it much like there's no way we're going back to live events or studio matches this season.
No, the season's gonna finish.
The new era. The new era will be forever branded as the digital era.
Yeah,
it's just the way it runs. So
that's what you gotta do.
Yeah. So the next announcement of sorts that we have is the bracket.
Yeah.
The singles bracket, it has been announced, and there are a couple of what
we
ifs.
We can throw that graphic on the screen.
Making me work more for it. You're making me work for it.
Yeah. I don't snap. Andrew snaps really loud.
Let's see if I can do this into the
There you go. There's the graphic. my weak snap didn't make the graphic
I
happen.
can snap out of that, but like my hands.
I don't know. I just.
But but we can't go over every single one.
No,
That'll take an entire episode. I don't think we have the time for it. But like there are a couple like what if scenarios, because obviously we have Roka and Merle waiting for the outcome of the next couple matches to see who will be in the tournament.
Right. There's a couple of what ifs. Yeah, it's like Erwin and Roka are kind of on the same line of like, it depends on who wins what, who doesn't win what. And then Jen Kemp and Sabrina Ramirez, it depends on.
So like if Erwin doesn't have the belt, then he goes in instead of Kemp. If Erwin has the belt, Kemp goes in instead of Erwin. And it's the same thing for Roka, Merle, and Sabrina.
Yeah.
So if one of them holds the belt, Sabrina goes in.
It's a whole big tango.
It's a whole big what if scenario. So, but there's some notable matches. Like Barbarian said as much that he has a tough road to the final.
Yeah, his first opponent's Whitney Seibold, which. It's, and the thing is I was like going through it and I'm like, oh, it would be fun to make a bracket, but some of these people, it's like, I don't know. It's just picking names out of a hat, and it's no disrespect to them. I don't know what they can do in the Schmoedown, and maybe they show their trivia chops or their knowledge on their social media, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So
like James White's in the tournament.
James White's got a lot of hype
behind him,
but who knows where it's coming from?
I'm not familiar with because he's a fan leaguer.
So it's James White versus Frank Moran. I don't have much to go on other than the fact that James White's got a lot of hype behind him.
Yeah, it's like the whole thing with Parker.
Yeah.
Coming from the fan league scene. We'll get to that match.
Yeah.
We'll get to the match. Don't worry about it.
So there's tons of matchups.
Yeah.
It's about 36 people. It's huge.
Couple play-ins.
There's like four play-ins, right? One on each corner.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's huge. And we can make
we'll make predictions as we go.
Yeah.
With the closer, because it's going to be 4 matches a week.
Oh yeah.
And then obviously the later into the tournament, the further into the tournament we get, the less matches we'll have a week. But to begin with, it's like, oh my God, that's going to be so much. We're going to have to just like, all right, take loose notes.
Give me that content. Give me that content.
But I'm not, as a fan, I'm not complaining.
No. Not complaining.
But yeah, that was the second big thing that went down.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited for it because like, give me all that, give me all, and this is making up for all the singles matches that we weren't able to get because of Corona.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. And jumping off of that note, this news came out. What was it, like a day ago?
Oh no.
I don't know.
A day.
And again, we're sorry that this episode is out a day later.
Yeah.
Because of the whole scheduling differences with the matches usually come out during the week, but they came out during the weekend and we had to watch it. And
I mean, we could have done it Sunday night, but it just didn't happen.
And
it wasn't in the cards for us. So here we are.
Yeah, but this came out, I believe it was yesterday, as of this recording. The new, not new, but an update. Announcement. That's the right word we're looking for. The announcement of the points, how points are going to be allocated per match going forward.
Yes.
Not just for the singles tournament, mostly for the singles tournament and spectacular.
But also for next season.
And also for next season, because there's a couple things that it's like, this is going to be going into effect for next season, not necessarily this season.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and run down the.
I hopefully nothing's wrong here. What I'm about to say.
I think there's one thing that Christian cleared up. Because
what I have right here, I literally saved from Twitter.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It says the singles tournament and teams matches will be worth 3 points per win, 4 for a TKO or a KO. Play-in matches are worth 2 points per win, 4 for a.
That's one thing they corrected. I think that was a typo.
Okay.
But that's worth 3, and it made it. When I read it, it's like, that makes no sense. Why
play-in matches are worth 2 for a win, 3 for a TKO or a knockout.
That's from my understanding.
The remaining Season 7 title matches will still be worth 3 points per match, 4 points for a TKO or a KO. However, for the spectacular, title matches will be worth 5 points per win, 6 for a TKO or a knockout, Next season, season 8, title matches are worth 5 points per win, 6 for a TKO or a KO.
And I'm not sure if he cleared this up, but if Spectacular is supposed to be this big event and like maybe they'll be worth more, like 1 extra point next season. I'm not sure if he cleared that up because we were watching the Facebook thing that he dropped today.
Yeah, and if you're kind of like, what?
Yeah, what's going on?
Which...
Yeah,
I feel a tiny part of me is like, it's a lot of information.
Yeah,
but if you're not sure and you're not getting, you're like, why is Christian changing things in the middle of the season? Which I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of like, what are we doing
I was
here?
too. Yeah,
but if you're kind of unclear, you're kind of confused, go on to the Schmoedown Facebook group. Christian did a live like Q&A type thing today, earlier today.
It's like an impromptu thing.
Yeah. And because he heard. He was listening to Action Industries and they were talking about it, and he wanted to clear some things up based on what he heard on that discussion. So there's a Q&A session on the Facebook group. Go ahead over there, get it straight from the horse's mouth.
And from my understanding,
that's the saying, right? I didn't.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
That's a thing.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, pretty sure.
It sounded so weird saying it out loud. It sounded better in my head.
Yeah. So like this comes out, and then a lot of people, a lot of fans, myself included, yourself included, is like, why are we changing
what's
things?
happening?
What's going on? Why are we changing things midway through the season?
Yeah. Is this changing things
It's
retroactively?
like, yeah, and I was confused. It's like, okay, it's like we're gonna roll with it, no matter we have to roll with it.
Yeah.
But why do it in the middle of the season? That was my initial reaction. But then Christian does the Facebook Q&A thing, and then from my understanding, this was always the way it was set up. This is always like, it wasn't like announced to everybody. But it was always worth like tournaments. From my understanding, this is what he said. So tournament points and wins have always been worth 3, and then 4 for the knockout. That's how it's always been planned to be set to be. And just now, I think everybody's just being like, well, "Why are you changing things?" Oh, I'm getting angry because they weren't aware of it.
Yeah,
players included.
Yeah,
because Christian doesn't I talk to Christian loosely on like whenever he wants to talk to me about something, but then it's like he doesn't. I have no straight into like everything that goes on in the Schmoedown. It's like I wasn't aware of these. I was just from my understanding. It's like, all right, so the Star Wars and Innergeekdom tournament were worth 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, so then the tournament, this massive tournament comes up, it'll be like regular matches, 2 and 3. But then he goes on to explain, he's like, no, it's always been understood that tournaments will be worth 3 and 4. And then when he explained it that way, I was like, okay, that makes sense. It's just I don't think it was made explicitly clear to everybody.
Yeah.
That's what the precedent was. It's just I think everybody's getting upset with like, why are you changing things mid-season? Because they didn't understand that's how it was going to be. And I think that it's just a matter of not informing everybody that's how it was going down. If somebody did make an announcement like that previously in the season, or if Christian did say something like that previous season, feel free to like write in the comments, let us know, because from my understanding, it was like, oh, okay, we're just changing these things up mid-season. But it had always been understood for the people that running the Schmoedown, this is how it was going to go. It just wasn't announced to everybody.
Yeah.
That's why I think why everybody
was kind of like the closer we get, we'll announce it.
Yeah, exactly. And he brought up a point of like, say like Spectacular. He was like, oh, we're gonna make Spectacular a live event, and then everybody's just like, all right, live event. So we're gonna assume it's in LA, and that's what everybody's thinking. And then he comes on and goes, all right, so surprise, we're gonna have Spectacular in New York City. So I think that's the kind of mindset he wants to hold things in, and hold them close to the chest just to get everybody hyped for something. And I think that's what his reasoning is.
I think that's part of it, but I feel like another part of it, and I could be totally wrong, but the way you just said it made me think of it in this other perspective. Maybe it's also because like so much garbage is going on right now that you never know. Nothing's really set in stone. I mean, at one point we thought we were getting a match in Tampa. Yeah. At one point we thought we were getting a match in Houston, and then Corona. Yeah. So maybe there's also an aspect of like, well, kind of don't want to make too many promises too early.
Yeah, that's a great point too.
Let me kind of hang on until it gets closer, and it does feel a bit more.
Yeah, because what happens if you said,
firmed up.
Yeah, this is what it is. And then Corona happens, like, well, we can't do that anymore.
Yeah, then people are gonna get angry either way.
Either way, yeah.
But if you come out, day one, you're like, this is the way it is, and then something happens, changes it up, then people are gonna be like, well, you promised me this, So maybe it's also kind of it's a way of building suspense, but maybe it's also a way of being like, well, I don't know what's gonna happen. Exactly. Look at the way 2020 is going,
and look at the way that the tournaments and like the 5 rounders now we have to do this new speed round.
Yeah.
That wasn't planned. That was a course correction that had to happen.
It's the new era, and another big theme of the new era is flexibility and adaptability.
Yeah. So like I was one of those people like, why are we changing things mid-season? But then when Christian actually explained it, I was like, oh, okay. So got it. It's just we just misunderstood. We weren't informed of it right off the bat, and he was just doing things positioning things in a way so where he can build excitement, build suspense, and all that. So, and I do not envy Christian in these situations because it's like you can't win with anybody. No matter how well you explain things, people are like, well, no, this is because of this. It's like, dude, come on, give him a break because he wanted things to go one way, but then Corona just threw a wrench in everything, and you're like, all right, we got to shuffle the deck again and see what we can do with the season.
Yeah.
So that's the whole big contention this week of like point system. So. It is what it is. We're just gonna have to roll with it. So
yeah.
But yeah, so that's what the three big things that happened this past week. Even after these matches. But let's go ahead and get into the two matches that we have because again, all we have right now are Innergeekdom matches, and these are the quarterfinals. Right, the last couple quarterfinals.
Yes.
Let's go over. What are we going on first?
Well, in my notes, I have Chance versus Parker.
Chance versus Parker.
So I have Chance, the Cobra Ellison of Korruption versus Robert the Spider Parker of the Dungeon. And it's just a Korruption and Dungeon show today because both matches are those factions against each other. They got a little rivalry going.
This is an ongoing rivalry. I always have to like slow down that word. Rivalry between the Dungeon and Korruption. Shannon versus
Shannon and Kaiser always throwing barbs at each other.
It's
great.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I could listen to Kaiser throw like 90s schoolyard insults at people.
Dicky doos.
All day. Love it. I love it. Like I didn't write down sometimes when things like really tickle me I'll jot a note down.
Yeah.
But he said a couple things I forget if it was about Mike or something, but oh man, those like schoolyard, like I'm gonna pull your pigtails and push you in the sandbox, like those kind of like. I can't get enough of it. I think Kaiser is hilarious.
He's so good. But this is a highly anticipated match. Like Chance has been like improving steadily, and it's not like a dramatic like oh my god where the hell.
No, he's always been good.
He's been good.
Now he's like
now he's like. It's like, oh, wow, we got to start taking him serious. Because before, when he came into the league, it's like, all right, he's good.
And I feel like a lot of people initially were like, oh, Mike's carrying Chance, you know, in teams. Like, he was good, but I feel like a lot of people kind of had that, like, oh, no, he's just kind of getting carried a little bit. But
you can't say
Chance
that.
is dangerous.
Yeah, he's dangerous now. He's a triple threat.
Yeah.
He's a triple threat.
Yeah.
So.
No thanks.
Yeah.
So, round one. Parker, two questions.
Two misses.
Parker misses how Lau dies in The Dark Knight, and then a question about the mask, which
we just watched it.
It made me watch it today because I was like, oh, I forgot about that movie, and it's on Hulu. Who would have thought?
Such a good movie though too.
Thanks everybody.
Yeah, but
we watched the mask this morning.
I think he said as much like he got a little shook by the Dark Knight question. It kind of threw him off a bit, and you can tell too. Like after that, he was like pacing back and forth, and he looked shook
a little bit,
and it looked like the pressure was getting to him a little bit.
And then you go and after that you hit another snag with the mask.
Yeah.
So and it was a quote question, and it was like what 1994 whatever comedy whatever has this quote, and even I love the mask, and I was like, why does that sound so familiar? That quote sounds so familiar, but I can't place it. And then they said the answer. I'm like, I can't even place it in the movie now that I know the answer. So that's basically why we had to watch it again today. Yeah. And then it came up. We were like, oh, there it is.
And we made this comment while watching. The Schmoedown has ruined my movie-going experiences now.
Oh,
how I watch movies
in an okay way.
Yeah, and in a fun way. But now we're watching.
That's a good question.
Not just for new movies. Like when we watch the first time, I'm not really looking at it that way. But when we revisit movies like The Mask, like we did this afternoon, it's like, oh, that'd be a great question.
Yeah.
Oh man, if I was a question, I'd write that down.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that'd be a great question.
He went to the Coco Bongo. That's the name of the club. He had a Tasmanian devil pillow on his couch. Wow, that'd be a good question. That'd be a 5 point if I ever heard one.
Yeah, I've said it before. I think you'd be a fantastic question writer.
I would love to.
Mm-hmm. So.
But then I have to watch movies. And I'm kind of not good at that. So unless it's Star Wars. Chance gets a perfect round.
Mm-hmm.
And he got a bonus question about the Kingsman and a character that was played by Mark Hamill. And he got it. So by the end
it was the professor. You forgot about that?
I still don't remember.
I don't remember the character's name, but I do remember like when I watched him, I was like, oh, it's Mark Hamill.
The first one or the second one?
The first one.
No.
He was in the opening scene. He was taped up. And he had an accent that basically sounded like the Joker.
No.
You don't remember that at all?
Not even one for 1 second.
And you really enjoyed that movie too.
Yeah,
I really
like
enjoyed that
Kingsman.
movie. I like Kingsman.
Don't remember that.
Wow.
I remember the robot dogs.
You
from
don't
the
remember
second
his
one.
head exploding when he was being visited by I can't remember who visited him. I think it was
Mark Hamill's head explodes.
Mark Hamill head explodes. You don't see it like on screen, but like his character's head explodes.
No.
You don't remember that at all?
No.
Wow. Okay.
No. I remember that everybody's head explodes at the party.
Oh yeah.
With their collars.
Mm-hmm.
Like Battle
No,
Royale.
it's because it's like a chip that's implanted in their neck.
And then in the second one, Elton John had robot dogs.
No, he was fighting robot dogs.
What? They
Or
weren't
something like
his?
that. No, there was what's her name? The main villain. Oh God, who plays the main villain in Kingsman Golden Circle? This is why I'm a Star Wars competitor, people.
No idea.
Yeah, no, it was not. They were not his dogs. They were not his. He was. I'm pretty sure he was fighting the robot dogs. Pretty sure. Let's move on.
Interesting. So by the end of round 1, it was 8-11 in favor of Chance. Round 2, Chance goes first.
Mm-hmm.
He gets. Did he spin?
He
something?
spun Star Wars. No,
No, that was Mike.
that was Mike. Yeah, sorry.
I feel like this might have been his first spin, and he was like, "Yeah, gimme." So he got DCEU, and he decides to
Yes.
stay with it.
Mm-hmm.
So he did amazing. He
Oh,
went
yeah.
to multiple choice one time. He got another question about what kind of bullet was used to.
Oh yeah. 9mm in what kind of bullet was shot with? What kind of bullet was
like kept
by what's his face that was shot at Superman?
Uh-huh.
And it was like a sort of a keepsake because it's like a souvenir type of thing because it's the bullet that hit Superman and it was a 9mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he got asked to repeat.
Yeah, he got asked to repeat it and then
So that's that.
yeah.
So then Robert Parker goes and he gets Wizarding World.
Mm-hmm.
And he pretty much same performance as Chance. He did fantastic. He went to multiple choice once and he got it.
And that killed him. That really killed him to go to
Because it was one of those ones where he knew it. He just needed to make sure.
But also he knew that I really don't want to go down by another point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he could have caught up with if he didn't go into multiple choice, but he's
Yeah.
like, I gotta go to multiple choice on this one.
So now it's like wash. We both get the same amount of points.
yeah, exactly.
He's still down.
Yeah, he's still down. He could have made up 1 point there, but it was just.
So by the end of round 2, it was 17-20 in favor of Chance.
Yeah.
Going into round 3, 2-pointer for Parker. He got DC. What does Bruce ask about a tumbler? Is it black?
It's the Batmobile when he test rides it at
Tumbler?
a tumbler. It's
Like a drink tumbler.
Yeah, that's what the Batmobile's cost. Batmobile. Wow, I can't talk today. The Batmobile is called the tumbler.
What?
Because it jumps over ravines and stuff.
Stupid. A tumbler is a drink glass. It's a drink glass that doesn't sweat. Tumbler?
It's the tumbler.
I've never heard
You
that.
never heard how many times have you seen Batman Begins?
Which one? Is that Val Kilmer?
No. Batman, that's the first
Returns.
Huh?
That's Batman Returns. No, Forever.
Forever's Kilmer, Batman and Robin's Clooney, Batman Begins through Batman Dark Knight Rises is Bale.
Which one is this?
Batman Begins.
Who is that?
Bale.
Clooney. Oh.
That's the first of the
Dark Knight.
Yeah, of the Dark Knight trilogy.
It's always been a tumbler?
It's always been the tumbler.
That's stupid.
But it gets destroyed in the Dark Knight, and then he takes the Bat Pod that comes out of the tumbler, and it's basically the bike.
the bike.
Yeah.
The big fat bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the big fat wheels.
Yeah,
I never knew.
Because it's the front of the tumbler. Because remember, it gets destroyed in the Dark
Yeah.
Knight, and then he's like, ejection, and the front wheels
After
become
he
the.
fought Scarecrow.
No, Scarecrow is only in the beginning of the Dark Knight.
I thought that's when it happened.
No.
I need to watch Dark Knight again. I can't get over the tumbler thing. That's what the Batmobile's called? Wow.
Yeah, it's the tumbler. Because it was a tumbler, then he painted it black, and then it's the Batmobile.
Tumbler because it rolls around? Like
Because
it has a roll cage?
it was originally designed as a military vehicle. It would jump rivers and it would tow a bridge and it would jump a river and then you would build the bridge that way rather than so it would get troops across ravines and stuff because they can't build a bridge into whatever, so they'd have the tumbler jump the ravine and carry it into towing a bridge behind it, and then you set the bridge up and you transport your troops across the ravine or river or anything that you needed. That's what it was originally designed for, but then it was like too expensive or something and didn't go into development, and then it was just sitting there in Wayne Enterprises like, oh, I'll just take this thing. It's like
build some bridges.
No, and he just used it as his vehicle. You don't remember any of this? Wow.
Not even for a second.
Wow.
I assume maybe it was Tumblr because it could roll.
Yeah.
Like a roll cage.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Wow. All right. So 3-pointer for Parker. He gets it Back to the Future.
Sorry for the tangent, people.
Wow. Back to the Future, 3-pointer for Parker. What was written on the pie pan that Marty threw at somebody? And it was Frisbee.
And again, the only reason I knew this one because it was a line. It's like, hey, Frisbee, far out. He said Frisbee on it. And then he takes it and he throws it like a Frisbee to save Doc from getting shot by
that's what
Mad
just
Dog.
And Parker missed it, and that's what just kind of makes it like sting a little bit because it's like, I threw it like a Frisbee. Maybe I should have just said Frisbee.
Yeah.
But hindsight's 2020.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes 3-pointers are like, I'm like, what?
And it's almost like you second guess yourself, maybe?
Yeah. It's not like a 2-pointer where it's like, because usually 2-pointers and round 1 questions are like obvious answers. Like, oh yeah, it's
most of the time.
It's most of the time it's their obvious answers. 3-pointers are kind of like they could be curveballs, they could be quote unquote trick questions, real like oddly worded questions that you think the answer is this, but like maybe it's just something like I don't know. So
tumblers. 5-pointer.
Yeah.
For Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Weapons, tech, vehicles, and magical objects.
And he hated this category because you watch his face. He's like, Jesus.
Yeah, that's a hard. It's tough.
It's tough, especially in such a spanning
Innergeekdom.
Yeah, spanning several different properties.
So he got Star Trek, the name of a vehicle, blah blah blah, destroyed by Klingons, and he got it.
Was that the actual quote or the
much.
actual
Word for word, almost? Okay. He got it, and it was like,
Yeah.
It was kind of like, it's right there.
I mean, a competitor like Parker. Fantastic and deep cuts. He's probably never going to miss a 5-pointer unless it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But like you just hope players like him just like blank on 3-pointers and 2-pointers and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I fully expected him to get his 5. So.
And then 2-pointer for Chance. He got Star Wars.
Oh, that's where the Star Wars question comes
Which film features a battle on Crate? He got it.
Mm-hmm.
3-pointer for Chance. The Wizarding World. Name of the celebration held over Christmas.
And this is his winning question.
He got it. It was like the Yule Ball or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that. So Chance wins. It was 24-25.
Mm-hmm.
And man.
This is an upset.
Is it though? I saw that debate, I think, on a Facebook, and they were like, this is not an upset. Well, I mean, because they're both. No, Chance is not a rookie in Innergeekdom.
No. He's
and Parker is. So I mean, technically, it's not.
It's an upset in the way that
It's an upset in the sense that everybody was expecting Parker to win because there was so much talk.
And in all of his matches, including exhibitions, he missed 3 in this one, and he missed 1 in his last one.
Something like that.
And he didn't miss against Ace, and he didn't miss in his exhibition. So he's only missed 4 questions.
Absolutely had a strong showing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I don't know. I don't know if I would consider this to be. I mean, it is. It
is
an upset in a way.
I think it's an upset of expectations.
Yeah. It's just hard to look at Chance Ellison beating somebody and have that be an upset.
And as far as as Chance goes in the Innergeekdom, he hasn't had a bad performance in Innergeekdom because that 5-way that he competed in, I think he came in. What, 3rd or 2nd or something like that?
Oh no!
I think he came in 2nd because he beat Chandru in that. Because that's the one that Hannah ended up winning, and I think Chance came in 2nd. So he hasn't had a terrible performance in Innergeekdom. It's just he just he didn't win his first one, which is technically I think a play-in for the division. I think that's what it was. But yeah, I mean, in the sense of like pure numbers and like rookie versus an already established player, he's a former champion in the teams division.
Yeah,
it's not really an upset.
That's why for me it's like, oh, it kind of just feels weird to say that's an upset because, I don't know. In a way, it is.
Yeah.
In a way, it feels like it, but in another way, it's like, no, I don't really feel it like. I don't look at it like an upset.
This is a massive loss for the dungeon. Not in the fact that like one of your players gets eliminated and almost made it to the semifinals.
Yeah.
It's a matter of you put all your eggs in this one basket. This player, this was your second round pick.
We stacked the IG.
He obviously he kept Smets because he was protected when he drafted him in the first round, but he made these trades to go first in the second round. And what does he do? Doubles down in IG. And Christian said as much in the Facebook thing. If this ended up working for him, he's a genius.
Because everyone's kind of like, oh well, next year is Kaiser the model for how not to draft? And
it's like
Christian brings up an excellent point that it's like, no, because sometimes you want to get a big payout. Sometimes you got to take a big risk.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what Kaiser did.
A big risk.
Had Parker gone to the end, and you see him in a duel with Smets, Kaiser would have been the best manager in all of history because, oh my God, who would have thought?
Yeah, circumstances are.
It just didn't work out for him.
Didn't work out for him. And it's a massive, massive loss because probably not going to see Parker for the rest of the season. Yeah, I doubt we will.
I feel like after IG, it's kind of the shift is going to move towards singles and teams.
Yeah, because like after this, you got to, because I think the next IG match after this is. No, well, we have two. We have the Chandru Smets title match, and then Spectacular. So we only have two IG matches to go in the season after this tournament. And then the focus shifts because we have this huge singles tournament. Then we have to focus on, I think the teams tournament is going to be 8 teams, I think Christian said.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 8 teams, and then it's Spectacular. So
exactly. I mean, we're almost at the end of July. Yeah. So it's kind of crazy.
So Parker's pretty much done for the season.
Probably.
And and I wouldn't doubt that Kaiser's like, you know what? No, I'm still an Innergeekdom specialist. I'm obviously gonna keep Smets. Even if he doesn't have the belt at the end of the season, gonna keep Smets. I would say he doubles down and goes, yep, I'm gonna double down on the Innergeekdom because Parker's gonna come back hungry for it, keeping Parker. So
and Chandru's on swag.
On swag.
Yeah. I could see it.
I can totally see it, but it sucks that he made all this like hype going into Parker and like he gets eliminated in the second round.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
It is, and sometimes things like that happen, and I'm sure that next season he's gonna be like, well, that's not gonna happen again. Mm-hmm. So we've seen a glimpse of what Parker can do. Yeah, and I'm very curious to see what he does next season with a hard lesson. That he had to learn. Yeah, and not that I even know what exactly that lesson was, other than sometimes you can have a bad day. Yeah, but it's just gonna serve as fuel.
Or maybe he just studies differently. Because for all we know, he was looking at Back to the Future. Like, I'm not gonna need to know that.
Yeah, because sometimes you go, they're not gonna ask that. Why would they ask that? And then you get a question about that, and you're like, oh, okay.
That's happened to us.
Now I gotta take it from a different angle.
Yeah, that's happened to us twice.
Yeah.
So
you learn.
You live and you learn.
You live and you learn.
And then you get loves. Anyway, yeah, but God, this is a huge. Like, when Chance first came into the league, I was like, all right. I mean, he's not bad. Yeah. He's not a bad player, but it's like I don't see the hype. But then he goes on to win the team's title with Mike, and it's like, God, you got to start paying attention to this guy because like. When they won the titles against the Shirewolves, it was Chance that was getting most of the questions right. It wasn't the other way around. Yeah. So like, and now that he's this proven commodity in IG, I don't know how he's so dangerous.
Him and Mike.
Yeah. So like, guaranteed, Mike and Chance are staying with Korruption next season. No matter. God, there's like no chance. Like you have 2 players that can make up points. For you can really just like get those 2 and keep Laura Kelly. There's your team. You don't need anybody else.
Because you got 2 people in 3 divisions and then 1 person to cover the last one.
Yeah. So it's like, do you really? It's like, it's no question. So Chance is
no question, and also one of them shacking up with the manager. So.
Chance is becoming like a phenomenal player. So yeah.
But yeah, no, they're not going anywhere. No. I mean, for multiple reasons.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into the next match. Yes. With the Mike Kalinowski and
He's KO now, right?
Yeah, he's KO.
Mike KO Kalinowski of Korruption versus Eric the Z-Man Zipper.
Or is he the killer?
Of the I never remember if he's killer or KO.
Let's just,
Mike Kalinowski. Versus Eric Z-Man Zipper of the Dungeon. So round 1. Zipper missed how many movies? Ian Holm played Bilbo.
And it was 4? I think it was 4.
I feel like it might have been 3 or 4.
I think it was 4.
Something like that. And then both missed A Deal is a Promise and A Promise is Blank from Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah.
And Unbreakable.
I think both of them said Forever.
That's what I said, like Diamonds Are Forever. So that's what I guess.
Watching too much Zales commercials.
I've never seen Wonder Woman, but it seemed to make sense.
It's a good movie. I liked it.
8-9 in favor of Mike at the end of round 1. Round 2. I think this is when Mike spins Star Wars first and decides, hey, you know what? I'm just going to roll those dice again. So he spins again, and Mike Kalinowski of DC Movie News gets DC. Schmoedown. So he gets DC, and to nobody's surprise, he gets a perfect round 2. He knocks it out of the park. So then Zipper goes, and he gets Middle Earth. And I think that was his first spin, and he was like, yeah, gimme. Which was like, not a lot of people do that, but in his last match,
he had a good showing.
He definitely he crushed Middle
So
Earth.
why not? It's like I'm on a roll with Middle Earth,
feeling good
with it, and guaranteed he's been studying with Parker and Smets.
Yeah,
and they're both phenomenal in Middle Earth. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna roll with it because I did so well.
Yeah,
and I don't blame him. But
so
then
he goes multiple choice twice.
Yeah,
one of them he gets it. One of them he misses, but luckily there was no steal.
Yeah.
So by the end of round 2, it was 15-19 in favor of Mike. Round 3.
And that's a tough mountain to climb against Mike Kalinowski.
Oh, yeah.
It's a tough mountain to climb.
Wouldn't want to be staring at that scoreboard if it was me.
Yeah.
Round 3, 2-point for Zipper. Star Trek. Name 2 films where we see Kirk die on screen. He got it. Zipper's 3-point. Villains. Who played the yellow B word?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Family friendly show, people.
In Sin City. And he got it.
Oh, and I told you what happens to him before he dies, and you're like, really?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen Sin City.
That's a rough scene.
That's a rough way to go.
That's a rough. It happened before he dies.
Well, it's a rough appetizer.
Yeah.
To go in.
It's like, oh, and it's like it's not like it got cut or it got shot, or it's like, no, it got ripped off. It's like, oh.
If that's the pregame, no thanks.
Don't want to see the main event.
No, thank you. I'll stay home. 2-pointer for Mike. He gets Wizarding World. Say what to write you stick your hand out, and you say what to write a room, and it was up. Imaginative. J.K. Rowling. Sick. He got it. And then it bounces back to Zipper for his 5-pointer. He got Who Said It. That's rough.
That's a rough
for IJ.
Any division. It's rough
for a 5-pointer. Who Said It? Yeah, it's rough.
It's rough. Yeah.
So it was a Harry Potter quote, and he unfortunately missed it. So the match ended up 20-21 in favor of Mike Kalinowski. So Dungeon's out of IG.
Dungeon's out of IG. But
and now
we get to see Barbarian versus Ellis.
Ellison.
Ellison. Yeah. Ellison.
Mark.
Yeah.
Ellis.
So Chance
Ellis'
versus the
son.
Barbarian, and Mike Kalinowski versus Alex Damon. I'm more interested in, obviously, we're cheering for the Barbarian.
Yeah,
I mean, faction mate.
Of course.
We who we're taking there, but like I'm excited for Alex Damon versus Mike Kalinowski.
Yeah.
That's a premier matchup because even I will admit, I was like, I mean, Alex's knowledge is vast, and like his brain is wired for 5-pointers.
Yeah.
And he's openly admitted that, his round ones is his Achilles heel in the IG. Not so much for Star Wars, but like for the IG, the first round is really he needs to improve. And if he stumbles in the first round against Mike Kalinowski,
you might not have much room.
You might not have
for that.
Yeah, exactly. But like even I was like, I mean, Alex is good, but like can he compete against the likes of Mike Kalinowski and Hannah's and the challengers? And it's like he's proven himself against Hannah.
Yeah.
And you can't take him lightly anymore. So I'm excited to see how he performs against Mike.
You know, at this point, I mean, because wasn't Alex's first match was against Jen Kemp
In the tournament.
in the tournament?
Yes.
Yes, in the tournament. Well, okay, yeah. If we're talking IG, his first match was against Emily. Jacobson.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, he did very well.
Yeah.
TKO'd her.
Yeah.
And then in the tournament, he faced Jen Kemp.
I believe it was a TKO, was it? Or wasn't? I can't remember.
A rookie. Fan leaguer, I believe. So he did well. And I'm sure that a lot of people after that were still like, well, you know, they were both rookies and it's whatever.
Oh,
then, which, you know, that's not fair to say about a rookie because, you know, everybody started out there and whatever.
And then his real
test. But he then went up against Brandon Hanna, somebody who has shown their value in the Innergeekdom division. And then he won, which I think a lot of people kind of probably had their guts saying to go
Hannah.
with Hannah.
Yeah, I said I had Hannah. I think.
Because, I mean, a lot of people look at Alex and they're like, he just knows Star Wars.
He just knows Star Wars. Like, no, he knows
Obviously
so much more.
not.
He knows so much more.
He knows a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So at this point, it's, you know, you should not be. I saw this also in a Facebook post where they were like, oh, people are sleeping on Damon. And then somebody goes, no, I'm tired of hearing all these people saying, oh, we're sleeping on just because you pick, you make a pick. Just because you make a pick doesn't mean you're necessarily sleeping on somebody. Yeah. Like, they're like, why would I not be picking Mike Kalinowski? Yeah. He's a former two-time champion. The only two-time champion in Innergeekdom. He's held the team's belt. He hasn't held the singles belt. No. But he's a two-time IG belt holder. Former team's belt holder. Not that belts are the be all end all, but it's pretty big.
It helps you. It helps you out a bunch.
And it kind of, you know, it's you can still be a fantastic player and never have won a belt, but it's pretty big. So to say that picking Kalinowski means you're sleeping on Damon, it's like no. It's just you're going with stats. Yeah. You're going with experience. I mean, the IG division is what it is because of Mike Kalinowski. Yeah. He's the grandfather of IG, basically. Yeah,
without Mike Kalinowski and the whole corruption storyline, we don't get an IG tournament.
Exactly.
We don't get the Mara Kanopik run. We don't we don't get the Rachel Cushing comeback to win it type of thing. We don't get the Mike coming back to win it a second time. We don't get those matches without what Mike did with the Innergeekdom tournament.
Like he said, this is his playground. And he was like, I think he said, this is my playground now. And you, can I come play?
Oh, yeah, he's making fun.
Mike is one of my favorite people on the mic. He is so good. Yeah. He is amazing. He's so much fun to watch. And his take on the heel thing is just like, it's a pleasure to watch. So, yeah, it's an interesting match to try to make a pick because it's like, how do you bet against Mike Kalinowski in Innergeekdom? But then you're like, okay, well, Alex Damon, obviously, he's one of, if not King Geek. Yeah. So
just like you can't discount what he's done with the Star Wars division.
Yeah.
He's the longest reigning champion ever in the Schmoedown.
Yeah.
He's had it for 2 years.
Yeah.
And people are like, well, there's not enough like. You know, there's you play like maybe 2 Star Wars matches a year. It's like, yeah, but you still got to win those matches.
Exactly.
It doesn't change the fact like, yeah, you have a longer gap between matches. It doesn't change the fact that you still have to win those matches. You still have to defend that belt.
Yeah, even other divisions, you're not defending the belt like 5 times a year. It's only like a couple times in Star Wars. Obviously, the slim pickings. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you have to give Alex a lot of credit for what he's done in both divisions now.
Yeah.
So I would like to see this to be like a real let's get both of them to the 5-pointer.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to see like, oh man, Alex missed like 4 in the first round. Now he's playing catch up. I want to see like it. I want to see like, okay, they both got perfect rounds.
Blow for
blow. Maybe Alex has to go to a multiple choice, or for some reason Kalinowski has to go to multiple choice in the second round, or one of them misses the 2-pointer in the third round. I want to see a match like that.
Yeah, I don't want to see either person playing catch up. I don't want somebody to get bad luck, and you know, sometimes it's the luck of the draw. But like, wouldn't it be fun to see Mike Kalinowski get DC and see Alex get Star Wars?
Schmoedown.
So yeah, I really hope it's just. I mean, I know that they don't want it to be that way because it's stressful.
Yeah.
But as a fan, I want to see that, knockdown drag out. That's what we come here for.
This could be another like match of the year scenario.
Absolutely.
Like, or it could be another upset.
This I would consider if Alex beats Mike.
This is
an
a clear upset.
That's an upset, my dudes. So,
yeah, I'm excited.
What would you say?
Oh man. But before we do give our picks for these next matches, but we'll jump over to the Barbarian Chance match.
Oh yeah.
But before we do that, we have to announce, because we're talking so much about Alex Kalinowski, we will be having Alex Damon and Molly Damon on the show next week.
My goodness.
To talk about, obviously, Alex is running the IG, Molly's running Star Wars and all that. So we will be
having a
having
virtual double date. It's no big deal.
So they will be on the show next week. I'm excited for that and it's just ironic that like the first time we have them on a weekly show, it's not our Star Wars show.
No, when Andrew told me, I'm like, oh, they're gonna be on Going Rogue, Star Wars.
Nope, they're gonna be talking Schmoedown with us.
I'm like,
okay.
Right. I mean, I'm more than happy to talk to them about anything.
We'll get them on Going Rogue eventually.
At some point.
We'll get them down there because
I would just be happy if he had told me, hey, Alex and Molly are coming on and they're gonna talk to us about their dog Hilo for 30 minutes. I'd be like, yep, okay, I'm ready. I'm down. Let's talk about all of our dogs. I don't really care. I'm just happy to be talking to them.
So yeah, that will be them. It'll be the Damons and the Dimalantas next week. Yeah. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get into what do we think about the Barbarian Chance match. Because next week is all semifinal matches for IG.
It's big. It's big. I think the Chance Barbarian match drops Monday for patrons, and then I think it goes live today. And then on Thursday, I think is when it gets premiered on YouTube to the general public. And then Friday. We get Alex Damon, Mike Kalinowski.
And let me retroactively rewind my comment. It's not next week. It's this week because this episode's coming out later because of scheduling.
This week. Yeah. So Craig Chance. Obviously, my pick is Craig.
Yeah.
Obviously.
We're going to bet against our guy.
Exactly. But Chance is scary.
He's coming to play.
It's not one of those matches where you're like, oh yeah, he's got this in the bag.
Yeah, no.
There are matches when you're like, oh no, yeah, I feel really good about this.
But
this is not one of those because Chance is just terrifying.
And to say like Barbarian's good.
Yeah.
He's very good. And again, I said IG's not his first wheelhouse. It's like, all right, yeah, I can go dabble. I can dabble in IG. He's a singles and teams player first, I would argue, because he did fantastic in his first match, and he has a hard go in the singles tournament. But he's come to play in the IG, and and I've told you before, like I don't want to give away his secret, but like what he's doing to prepare for these matches, is like, yeah, and this is what I did. I was like, whoa,
yeah, he cray,
yeah, he's crazy. So. But obviously we have Barbarian going into this, and again, I think I see this as a blow for blow. And Craig, but the Barbarian is like he's one of those players that's like, ugh, he had to go multiple choice twice. It's like you still did good, but it's like no, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. He's one of those type of players where it's like perfectionist. He misses questions in the first. It's like, ugh, could have done better. I wanted to get a perfect round. It's like, dude, don't like. Beat yourself up for a couple of misses. You won the match in like spectacular fashion.
Pot calling kettle black over here. I'll be the one to say it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like you're not performing badly. It's just like you're not performing to your standard.
Yeah.
So I would imagine after the last couple of matches, the last couple of misses, like, all right, just gonna like
buckle down. So
I'm expecting him to come to play for this one.
Yeah.
And we need to spoil the Korruption final party. Wouldn't it be fun if it's Alex over Mike, and then Barbarian over Chance?
That would be gigantic.
Because Korruption at this point in the standings is what, third or fourth?
I think the most recent updated standing things I saw put Korruption in like third
place with 14 points.
They jumped over the Den. I think they have like 17 points.
Something like that. They're sub 20 but above 15.
Yeah.
And if it does get to the point where it's Korruption final, Mike versus Chance.
Yeah,
that's big for the standings because then they could possibly jump. Can they jump the swag at this point? I don't think they can. because this is a 5-rounder.
Yeah.
The final when we get to that point, the finals is a 5-rounder because as all tournaments are. But they could make a serious run at the standings.
So like if Chance beats Barbarian, and if Mike beats Alex,
so that's
and
3
it's
points.
not TKOs or KOs,
6 points.
6 more points.
That puts them in 20 above 20, like 22, 23.
Math.
Yeah, depending on what their points are right now.
I think they're at 17.
So yeah, so that's 6 points.
I think they're at 17.
So that's 23.
23.
And then and Swag's at what, 20?
I don't know what they're at.
Oh God, they're at 22.
You're saying too many numbers that I'm
I
getting
think
confused.
so. Yeah. So if both Chance and Mike make it to the final, they can take second place, and they can be on the heels of the FinStock Exchange at the end of the tournament.
It's huge. And then we're just gonna release them back into teams and singles. So they are just two wild beasts.
And with these quote unquote new points, hear my air quotes, sorry, but with the way the point spread is now, with the tournaments coming up and the and all that, it's anybody's game now.
Oh yeah,
like we've said it before.
Decided.
Nothing's decided. It's like the IG and the Star Wars tournament for the FinStock Exchange was just like, let's just pad the lead as much as we can. Craig's still in it. I did as much as I could in the Star Wars tournament with 6 points. And we're looking pretty good, but if Korruption just, oh my God, and then it's just they're right there. But then again, we do have the Irwin Roca match. We get the Bateman Guy match. We get the title match, and then after that, it's another title match with whoever holds against whoever wins Bateman Guy match. So there's still points to be made elsewhere. There's a lot of stuff between the IG and the singles tournament, and we have Who's the Boss still sitting there waiting for their chance to make a run at a number one contender shot. We also, Founding Fathers still have to defend those belts against Korruption. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah,
Korruption has to go up against the Founding Fathers for the title. So that's even more points that Korruption can
I
earn.
forgot about that. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a
grudge
match.
God, do you realize that Korruption went from last place to nipping at our heels?
Yeah, Mike and Chance
they're carrying.
Beasts. They are beasts.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
But yeah, so we'll see what happens their next matches.
But like, yeah, even if they do get to that point, we still have a couple other matches to go with FinStock Exchange where we could still pad the points. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We got obviously, so our picks for the next coming matches: Barbarian. Oh God. So who do you have against? So obviously we have Barbarian against Chance. Who do you have against Kalinowski and Alex? Because
if I use the same logic that I used in the last tournament, it would be Kalinowski. Almost for fun. I almost want to not use that logic.
Well, who do you have?
My gut tells me Kalinowski because, like I've said before, I like things that feel like I like when the odds feel like they're logically in favor of one outcome. I like things that feel
like a sure thing.
Almost
to a sure thing.
Yeah, not like I'm like, oh yeah, he's definitely gonna beat Alex. Like,
yeah.
No, I don't think that for 1 second. But I look at what Kalinowski has done in the tournament, and it's just like I feel like almost wrong betting against someone who's done that. Someone who has that kind of history in this division. But then there's another part of me that's like, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
So right now, 3, 2.
No,
1.
don't. No, you go first.
I want to hear yours first because I have my. Yeah. So go ahead and pick because I want to give mine after yours.
I have a feeling I know what you're gonna do. So for fun and for argument's sake, I hope you do what I think you're gonna do. I'll go with Mike because of his because of his history in IG.
It's hard to bet against him. You want to know mine?
I already know what you're gonna say.
Alex, I believe.
What does that mean?
Alex Damon.
Alex, I believe.
I'm picking Alex Damon.
Oh, I knew that. Yeah. I know those are you gonna do.
I believe in Alex. I'm a believer now.
I believe in Harvey Dent.
I believe in Alex. It's just this feeling I have. It's like Alex is just. I mean, call it fate, call it destiny, call it luck.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Star Wars fans, we shouldn't believe in luck. I just have this feeling that Alex is going to take it.
He could definitely do it. It's
I just
just
have
that
this feeling.
they both could. There's.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an easy decision to make at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that Mike Kalinowski is a titan of IG.
Yeah.
If there was an IG Mount Rushmore, he'd be on it.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Right next to Kevin Smith, Rachel Cushing, and probably Navarro.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, 'cause Navarro is the only person to defend the IG belt, I believe. That's what I think.
But yeah, it's not that I don't want to bet against Alex, because I don't want to bet against either of them for multiple reasons. I could make a case that I think both of them could win.
Yeah.
But I that's how I bet on things. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
So we'll see. We'll be talking to the Dames about an IG win next week,
Yeah.
or an IG loss.
Yeah.
But I just have this feeling that Alex is gonna make it to the final.
And he absolutely could.
Yeah.
And he absolutely might.
Yeah.
So it's all just a matter of, you know, are the questions gonna get you?
Yeah.
So
Will he brush up on will he improve in the first round? Because that's where he needs to work.
are we looking at Mike's past matches to see if maybe he has some sort of a weakness? How's he doing in Middle Earth? How's he doing in, you know, those kinds of things. Like, I wonder, are we reviewing tapes to find, obviously we know Mike likes DC a little bit. So, and we just saw him spin away from Star Wars, which obviously, you know, if you're going against Alex Damon, that actually doesn't matter, because it doesn't really matter knowing that it's maybe not his favorite thing, because it is Alex's favorite thing. So, but yeah, it all depends on how the cards fall, how the cookie crumbles, whatever you want to call it.
Maybe Alex gets a couple of lucky turns.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets maybe he spins Star Wars in the second round, and his 5-pointer again is Star Wars.
But I don't think that if Alex wins, it's because of luck.
Oh yeah, no.
If Alex wins, it's because Alex is a geek knowledge savant.
Yeah.
You know, so if Alex wins, it's because he's just amazing. Mike Kalinowski wins, it's because he's Mike Kalinowski, and because that's just what he does in IG.
Yeah.
And I if I could bet both of them to win, I would. 100% I would. I don't like making this choice at all. It makes me uncomfortable.
But I think we both should mention that, like, we both, like, as a Star Wars competitor, I want Alex to lose so he can focus on Star Wars.
Well, you know.
Because, like I said before, like, again, I have my title shot. I want it to be against Alex Damon.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
That's my 2 cents. But anyways, so
sorry, Alex. Can't believe you said that. Sorry.
I'll say it to him again on next week's show. But anyways, so
they're gonna cancel on us all of a sudden. Schmoedown. Luckily, we have 2 more drumsticks in the freezer, so we can bust those out if we need to.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and move on to the Patreon portion of the show.
Oh, yes.
Every week, our squadron captains on the $10 tier on our Patreon page get to dictate the conversation on our weekly shows. We have two Patreon questions or comments or topics, I should say, this week. And the first one comes from
Ferris Muthana. Will we see a Korruption final, or will one of them have a bump in the road? And which one will it be if it happens? I think it's highly possible that we can see an all Korruption final.
It's very highly possible.
I mean, with Chance, like we've said, Chance has been like, I don't know, he's just been a runaway train with his matches, and
he's like the unseen dark horse of this season, I would say.
Yeah,
especially in the IG.
Because I don't think I would have picked him going to the finals.
Me neither.
You know, so if he makes it there, it's going to be like, you know, with the trajectory he's going, I wouldn't be surprised if he finds himself sitting in the finals. I'm going with Craig.
Yeah.
But with the trajectory that
coming from this side of the desk, of course Craig's going to take him out. This is not going to be a Korruption final.
Well, yeah. It's
not going to be a Korruption final.
No. I mean, all I'm saying is there's a sliver of a chance. You know what I mean? But, I mean, in all seriousness, I could see it.
I could see it too, yeah.
Just because,
Yeah. And as a member of the exchange, I don't want to see it.
I don't want
to see it as a member of the exchange
as
because
an affiliate of the exchange. I don't want to see
an unofficial member.
Maybe. But yeah, no. If one were to hit a bump in the road, which one will it be? If it happens?
If it happens, I would say it would be
I
Mike.
think Alex would be a bit more of a bump.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if Craig were to pull out the win, people would be like, well, yeah, this because...
Yeah, his trajectory.
Everybody's been looking at Craig and, he's just, a triple threat, whatever. I feel like if Alex were to upset Mike, I think that would be considered more of a bump in his road. And I'm not really sure how to articulate that, but it just feels right in my head. So
yeah, because everybody's expecting Mike to win anyways. So
yeah, I feel like I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like
you know what I mean. Yeah,
I feel like more people have him as a shoo-in.
Yeah,
but if there was a poll, I think the poll might actually. I think once the poll closes or whatever, I think that the two choices are going to be closer than we would think.
Yeah,
but I feel like a lot of people are just assuming, it's Mike Kalinowski.
It's Mike Kalinowski, yeah.
So that's what I would say. Ferris.
Thank you,
and
Ferris.
Then Josh Estes says, Korruption took out the dungeon. How great would it be, as I predicted in my bracket, that we see Barbarian, the rookie, versus Alex Damon, the champ, in the finals, and not Korruption out of the tournament? I mean, that, like Andrew just said, that would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool for us.
That would be cool for us,
And it can happen. It could definitely happen. Like,
absolutely.
This late in the tournament, like it.
You're not going to find a matchup in a semifinal where it's like, oh yeah, that person's going to blow that person out of the water.
Yeah.
You don't get that far into a tournament and just be like, oh yeah, 100% this kid's going down.
Yeah.
So these two matches could easily go either way.
Yeah.
So, but would it be sweet to see, Craig take out Chance and see Alex take out Mike?
Oh,
yeah, of course.
Yes.
Especially from a standings standpoint.
Yeah.
And just from, because, everybody, Korruption is, it's one of the teams that everyone loves to hate because Shannon is just too good at what she does, and Mike is just too good at being on, his heel game. So it would be, a lot of people I think would love to see, Korruption goes from last to third and then, they're high and mighty. And then, no, they both get eliminated.
Yeah.
So I think that would be hugely exciting for fans to see.
Yeah.
But these matches could easily go either way. No one's getting blown out of the water here.
Yeah, no. But yeah, it would be great to see both of them go down in the semifinals. And then it's like, oh, right, so we had the little scare.
Yeah.
But now we're fine.
Even out a little
We're all
bit.
fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
I get that reference.
But yeah, so thank you to Ferris Mathana and Josh Estes for those comments, our squadron captains. I think we're going to wrap it up there. I mean, we've gone over the next couple of matches. Anything else that we're missing that we might have glossed over? I don't think we missed anything.
I think so. And like we said, this week, we get those two semifinal matches. First, it's going to be the Chance and Craig. And then Friday, it's going to be Alex and Mike. So, wow.
Big matches this week, guys.
Big old matches.
And
Cannot wait.
Apologies for this episode coming up a day later. Again, it's understandable because we got the matches over the weekend and parent life. Yeah. It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing. So, anyways, I think we're going to wrap the show up here. Nicki Dimalanta, where can they find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at Dimmy. DIMMMYYY.
Somebody saw the graphics that I'm adding to these shows.
I love them.
As for me, you can
Dr. Acula. Director.
Save that reference for Alex Damon next week.
Man, if Alex is watching this, I hope he gets that reference. You take out that period. Oh man,
we'll probably end up talking about.
I feel like that reference is probably lost on a lot of people, but if you like Scrubs, hit me up.
As for me, you can follow me on Twitter and Twitch at Drew Dimalanta, DIMALANTA. Do us a very quick favor. If you listen to us on audio form on the Beyond the Schmoedown podcast feed, head over to Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to. Rate us on that. Get us up on the charts. Helps us out tremendously. Want to get some sponsors. And also, if you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification to know when our new videos go up with play-alongs and all that other stuff. I want to start doing a little more things other than our shows. Trying to get back into other avenues on the show, like short video things. I have a couple things in the works, so be sure to subscribe to be up to date on those. And if you feel so inclined, join the Patreon, patreon.com/Andrew and Nikki. Join, become a member of the squadron. Really quick, thank you to our squadron captains, Tamor Butta, Ferris Mathana, Josh Estes, and Bigdor. Thank you so much for your support, everybody. We did the play along is up now.
Is it?
Yeah, it's up. The play along for our patrons only. Patrons only. The wild berries versus
that one.
Yeah, that one.
Sorry.
Wild berries and Real Rejects play along is up for patrons, and if you want to see that right away, go ahead and join the Patreon. Anything else? I don't think we're done playing.
I think you did it.
Yeah, I gotta write this stuff down and put it.
I don't know how you haven't yet.
I'll write it down for next show.
It's beyond me, beyond the Schmoedown.
With that, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us on this episode of Beyond the Schmoedown. We'll see you next time.